Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brandon and Evan here. We're going to do a different video series. We're actually going to do a retrospective of every single set. We're going to touch on cards that overperformed and are still playable. We're also going to touch on cards that were not so playable and which ones to avoid. If you're new, I strongly suggest you check out these videos so you can get a good idea of what's a powerful card if you're new to Duelmasters or Duelmasters plays, or if you're a Kajudo player. So let's jump right into it. So these are the basic decks that the game gives you right off the rip for free. You don't have to spend a penny, and this is what the game gives you to start off with. So starting off with light, there really isn't much here that I would still consider playable. I would say that Ladia Bale, it was good at first. It's a nice beat stick on top of Guardians. It evolves from Guardians, but it quickly got outclassed in my opinion, especially with cards like Terror Pit running around. It didn't really do well. These two, Hanusa and Earth, they're just Angel Command beat sticks. Not too great. Magris did see some play. We obviously had the Crazed Valkyrie evolution, which we'll get into when we cover the set. This was actually good. You get to draw a card off of this. This wasn't bad. But then we also had a card named Pickery, which we'll touch on in set 1, that kind of outclassed it. Ironically, Colin the Oracle, the guy that taps a guy, he is still playable to this day. He's good in rush decks, and he's good in other type of decks too, like fairies, like more aggro stuff. He's a good counter in an aggro meta. That's pretty much it for light.
You
Yeah.
could talk about La Ura Giga, how sometimes it's a good like one of in mechas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, true. Laura Giga, ironically, in the TCG, Laura Giga was pretty terrible. It didn't do much. Blockers weren't as important, but in this game, getting out a one-drop blocker, like squeaking them out when you have an extra mana or two, is very good. And it evolved into the Pegasus, which we'll cover much later, the Vortex Evo. Laura
And it
Giga,
goes and Venus can
yeah,
it
yeah,
works with Venus.
exactly. You can evolve this into quite a few things. Laura was pretty good. Solar Ray really didn't see much play at all, to be honest. I wouldn't really consider it super playable since there's other stuff that taps that also does other things. Yeah, and you also had the Vanilla Guardian, which is nice. So that's something Duel Masters TCG didn't have, and it's an important archetype, so it's important we got this too. So moving on, we had Crystal Jouster. Uh, Again, I'm not a huge fan of this card. When he dies, he goes to your hand. Kind of weak for like the showboating card of the basic deck. He's expensive and he's not very powerful for the cost you're paying. Everyone's favorite Aquahulkus. This card is still playable to this day. It's been playable forever in the OCG, TCG. This card's just a great card. It's been around for a while. Ironically, Aqua Vehicle actually is being played because even though its stats are terrible and it does nothing, it goes right in the Liquid People deck. So it's actually played just to fill the Liquid People bodies. Aquaguard, of course, Aquaguard's played. It's a great evolution bait, same as Aqua Vehicle. Just a great card in general, evolves. Brain Serum, wasn't really played too much. Still see it from time to time, but it's just a more expensive energy stream. Spiral Slider. So for those of you who played the TCG, this card got was Spiral Gate, but a nerfed version. They believe Spiral Gate's too strong for its cost of 2, and I agree with it. This card definitely saw more play early in the life of the game. The game was more attacking focused and less control focused. But as the game went on, this saw less and less play, and it continues to not see play. So that was slightly disappointing. Moving on to Darkness. Most of these I would not consider playable. Locomotiver actually got nerfed. Believe it or not, it got nerfed a few months ago because it used to be a random discard. He was very good back then, especially against like Russian aggro decks. But since his nerf, he's seen next to zero play. I don't think he's very good at all, especially with stuff that when it gets discarded, your opponent can put it into the battle zone. Not very good. Hardworm.
Hardworm's pretty
Yeah,
good.
Hardworm is actually pretty good. It's overperformed my expectations. It evolves into Cruel Naga in this game, the Vortex Evo. When it attacks, random discard is very strong in Duelmasters plays. That's why Ghost Touch and Locomotive were nerfed. I definitely consider this card very playable. Definitely relevant card. We had the Vanilla Worm. I don't think we had a Vanilla Parasite Worm in Duelmasters, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we didn't have one.
There wasn't one.
Yeah. Blade Skeeto didn't really see play. It was much more popular in the TCG, for sure. This was like the go-to blocker. It could block Ganta and stuff and Pyrofighter and still take him down for just 2 mana. And it dodged like Searing Wave and stuff. This didn't see much play at all. Japanese players don't like blockers that don't give you value. Yeah. Death Smoke. I don't really think it's so much play, and it doesn't see much play. I just think people rather play an extra 4th Terror Pit or whatever. Just max out Terror Pit.
There's other better removals now too.
Yeah, like what do you call it? What's better? They have Vacuum Gel, which was like a favorite. We'll cover that later. Yeah, that was like a good one. But yeah, Death Smoke, it's too situational. It's a little bit clunky. Phantom Bites. I think this card is the best basic card in the entire Duelmasters Plays game. This card severely overperformed, and it's still an excellent card. I want to show you guys. So it's Phantom's Dragonflame is right here. So look at this. For 3, I'm killing a 2k or less. For 3, you're minusing 2k, and a creature that has 0 or less power is destroyed. This card has so much more capabilities and versatility. You can use it on a bigger creature to weaken it, and then one of your other medium-sized creatures can kill it. This card is incredible. It's either spot removal for a weenie, or it's a way to get over a more stubborn, bigger creature. This card is very, very powerful. I think it's an excellent card. It's going to see play through the life of Duelmasters Plays. It's great removal. It's a shield trigger. It has so much going for it. This card is incredible. Definitely the best basic card they give you. Unfortunately in Fire, the only card that I would say that has been relevant is Colin. It can't be attacked. It's an essential rush card. This card has won me many close games at rush. It's nearly impossible for light and water to get rid of. They can only really bounce it.
Or Miraculous Snare.
Yeah, or
now
Snare.
That,
yeah, that's all they really have. Fire gets rid of it pretty easily if they play low drop removal like Phantoms or Bite. But Cockpollen, super good. The rest of these guys, yeah, they didn't really see play. Like, they're very niche. The human archetype has been phased out, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Nature, another very disappointing bunch right here. Obviously, Fairy Life. It's an iconic nature card. It's been played. It's going to be played probably for the life of the game. But other than that, this I don't think was really that good. You snare a 5k or less for 4. You're giving your opponent mana. It's very limited. Not a fan of the nature removal stuff. You got Bronze. Bronze.
Much play.
Yeah, I would say he underperformed. I don't like Bronze Arm Tribe, to be honest. Maybe if there was like something that was 5 mana, like a 5 mana Beast Folk Evo, he would have been relevant. But I don't think he's relevant at all, to be honest. Now you have the new Dreammate.
Yeah, the new Dreammate.
Like, he's completely getting outclassed. Beast Folks have no support. They're going to get phased out, really, with rotation. And that's pretty much it. So, if I had to pick a top 3 most powerful basic cards to play, definitely Phantom Bite is number 1. 100% Phantom Bite is number 1. What would you put at number 2?
Holkus, maybe.
Yeah, Holkus is definitely probably number 2. Holkus is extremely powerful. Number 3, I don't know. Nothing in nature. You put it in Fairy Life? Yeah, Fairy Life. Yeah, it goes in Kachua. Yeah, that's probably our top 3 cards. Most of this stuff is junk, but yeah, if you liked the video, let me know. We're gonna keep covering the sets if you're a new player. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to drop them. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.